Hello, all signs. Welcome to an oracle message from the Zetas. For this, we're using the contact cards by Daryl Anker and Kim Carlsberg. And yeah, we're just doing a series of 12 short videos, which I've been guided to do. So we're going to grab a card from here, and then we're going to read from the book as well. Also, just like to thank the presence of the Zetas. Yeah, and the other thing too I'd just like to mention is that, of course, the Zeta Reticuli, they have been known for being the ones that have done the abductions, okay? But they, like many other collectives, including us, have gone through a process of evolution, okay? So when they were conducting the abductions, their emotional body was very, very underdeveloped, but they were needing to, I guess, investigate humans as a last attempt to save their own species. Okay, and they weren't sort of aware of that things can cause emotional upset. They were very sort of scientific and very kind of logical. So they actually had no idea that they were upsetting and disturbing people, which sounds weird, but that's sort of the case. But they have gone through a whole process of, working with humans and working on, understanding the human condition a whole lot better. Okay, so they are also very apologetic as well. Actually, if you want to listen to someone that channels the Z's, you can listen to Lee Harris. He channels the Z's, okay? He's probably got some information on all of that as well, like that whole kit and caboodle about, the abductions and all that sort of thing. So that was a little side point. So we're going to grab a card now. But the other thing I'd too like to mention is that there is a future hybrid race called the Essassani, which is a combination of Zeta and human, okay, DNA. So that's going to be interesting. I'm actually going to do an oracle message from the Essassani as well a bit later on, a separate video. Okay, so we might even just see what's going to jump out here. Thank you, Zetas. Excuse me. Apologise for the sound of my voice. Recovering from a cold. Hopefully it won't continue for too much longer. And here we go. We have circles. Wow, this is the crop circles. And it says Sun God. Wow, that's cool. I'm going to pause now and just find this in the book, and we will read it in a moment. Okay, let's read from the book. It says, with the Sun God card, we are assured of our ability to walk assertively down our path, firm in our faith that as long as we remain humble and are open to learn, we will always be shown the correct and most effortless route. We are protected as well as guided by this energy. If we are clear that our convictions are truly representative of our inner knowing and are not simply our ego's apprehensions, then all outcomes will favour us, no matter that others may have negative intentions toward us. As expounded within spiritual literature, we can walk through the valley of death and honestly fear no evil, as long as our hearts and minds shine with a radiance that reflects the light of the infinite. This card also illuminates the danger of allowing our ego to assume that it is in charge of our total being. When doing its designated job of helping us to focus our consciousness through the mask of personality, the ego is a good tool. But if the ego is allowed to replace our higher knowing self, it will attempt to control every detail of our lives instead of granting equal time to intuition. If care is not taken, this tendency can quickly inflate into megalomania. When we are fair and generous, we will always remain the champions of justice and not merely the arbiters of law and order. So, yeah, that's interesting. Being open to intuition and not, being open to that deeper side of us, okay? And I think many of us are opening and awakening to that because of the solar and the high frequency energies coming through. And it's interesting that this is almost like, you know, like those rays emitting from the sun towards us. There's another little description too. Let's quickly read that. Resplendent and glorious am I, the sun god, who casts beneficent rays of light and life and dispels the shadows of the night. I inspire new growth and am the driving engine for the changing seasons. I assert my presence through every window that is opened to greet the dawn. Rise and shine. I am Helios, whose fiery chariot leads the way. My incandescence illuminates the furthest horizons and reveals each rise, fall, and bend of the journey's path. My radiant lustre is for all, but those who deign to reside in darkness. Seekers of light are my children, and I am their eternal father, or father-mother. Lest it appear that my symbol is too forward, my energy also urges wisdom, sagacity, and the honing of shimmering intellect. I am the judge, the arbiter of justice, the sword of reason, and the slayer of doubt. I am the wizard, the high priest of alchemical transformation. I am the silver lining adorning every cloud. I am the father and the son, the brother and the lover. I am the majesty and the miracle of intention, conviction, and regeneration. The strong, steady hand of the eternal God. Now, it's interesting. This book was published, I think maybe in the 60s. So we could even just pop in there, like some people would say, you know, that the sun or God is like it's like a feminine and masculine principle. Okay, so it's interesting to see how things have evolved over the years in terms of our conceptual understanding. But I think maybe what they're talking about here is that projective energy. So if we're looking at you know, typical masculine, you know, the yang, that's the projective, and the feminine is the receptive. Now, it's not to say that, you know, a man can't be receptive and a woman can't be projective. That's not what we're saying. It's just it's really to just contrast those two energies. This isn't like an activating energy, okay? So projecting out and an awakening and shining and illuminating kind of energy here for us all from the Zetas. And yeah, I'd like to thank them for that message. And yeah, hope you have a great day, lovely afternoon, and I'll see you again soon.